Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the DLF Trade Show. Every week, still the best trade show on the Dynasty League Football YouTube channel. Why am I doing this finger thing? I committed. I couldn't stop in the middle. All right, I am your host, Russ Fisher at Dynasty Outhouse. He is your host, Addison Hayes at Amaze Hayes _ Okay, so we have been trying to change the format a little bit as we went along to try and be a little broader in a sense. You know, for a while we were doing one player at a time, a whole lot of different trades. And then for the past few shows, and people said it would be a little bit more helpful to do a couple of players, to go quickly through the trades and just give a broader idea of a couple of people in a certain category. But then we talked about Kye Pitts last week, and everyone's like, do a Kye Pitts show. We're men of the people. We're doing a Kye Pitts show. I mean, let's just call it what it is. That's what this is right now. And by the way,
I voted for a Kye Pitts show. I was ready for it.
According to DLF ADP, Kye Pitts is the tight end one. But I want to know, Addison,
yes,
is he your tight end one?
Yep. Yeah, easily.
I'm not there yet. Give me Travis Kelce. Give me the guy that has been the tight end one for the past
PPR points on Monday, and I almost lost me a week.
Yes, because forget the past 5 years. Let's talk about last week, Addison.
Exactly.
That's how we play fantasy football.
He's on a downhill slope. He's 31. He's already losing it.
Hold on. Just acknowledge the look I'm giving you when I take this sip.
Just like Devontae Adams out here with getting COVID and stuff.
Trash.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, Travis Kelce is still my tight end one. There is nothing that has been shown that Travis Kelce is losing it, that he's slipping, that he's losing an edge, or whatever those other euphemism or metaphors there are. None of it's happening. The offense has looked weird the past few weeks.
It's really weird. And he's not getting the targets either, which is also really weird.
So like, honestly, I think this is like a LeBron thing where it's just like, we're going to make the playoffs. Let's just half-ass it through the season. But that's not what we're here to talk about. But Travis Kelce is still my tight end one. There's no reason he's not going to be the tight end one for the next 2-3 years, scoring-wise. So
have you seen what Kye Pitts is?
There's no reason he couldn't be. How about that? Let me change that word a little bit.
I'm with you. So is Pitts your two then?
Yeah, Pitts is my two.
Cool.
Purely based on value. And Waller has multiple games of losing that target share that we've all come to love. And honestly, that's the only reason why he was the tight end two for a while, was because of that target share. And because Kittle hasn't been living up to it for the past season and a half with the injuries. But I get it. I get why Kye Pitts is the tight end one. I'm just not there yet, which is why I think this is going to be a fun show to do. First is our tight end equivalent trades, where we have 10-team Superflex. Here we go. I mean, Kye Pitts and Hunter Renfrow for Travis Kelce. In the trade analyzer, Kye Pitts comes in at 427.3. Hunter Renfrow, sorry, bro, 23.1. And Travis Kelce, 423. So Kye Pitts and Travis Kelce are even. So swapping them, sure. I mean, why not? I guess we said why not, because Kye Pitts is insanely young and producing. And while he's not producing consistently at the level that Travis Kelce has, I mean, someone maybe. Here's the thing, like you were talking about all those reasons we have been talking about where there's no real reason to trade away Kye Pitts. There's always a chance that you have someone in your league that drafted him for the value's sake and maybe sees this as a trade window. Like, okay, great. He's had 2 games, but no Calvin Ridley, a really bad offense, a really bad defense. The Falcons can't stay this bad forever. He's going to lose some target share. They're going to draft some wide receivers. So maybe let me try and trade right now. So it's worth a shot to ask, assuming chances are if the person in your league that has Kye Pitts is that Kye Pitts guy, because he'll have talked about it from the second he got him on his team.
Absolutely.
But this trade, tight end 1, tight end 2, it doesn't matter which order you have them in, whatever. If I had Travis Kelce and I believed Kelce was my one, which he is, it would probably take more than Hunter Renfrow to make me move him. It would give me someone I'd feel a little better putting in my lineup, but still, Kye Pitts plus pretty much whatever, or even if this was on the other side and it was Travis Kelce and a little bit of whatever, that's a fine trade.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking Kye Pitts here. Adding Hunter Renfrow is good in my book as well. I mean, he's been pretty solid PPR wise. The target share might honestly go up for
Oh,
other
yeah.
reasons. We don't need to talk about that.
Nope.
Yeah, I would. This is a move that I would really like to do, and I know that John Bosch is somebody that really loves to talk about doing this, and he even goes as far as to ranking players how he thinks that the market is going to value them 1 year in advance, and then he
Yes.
talks about are these players trending upward or trending downward in terms of value. We know that basically because of older players 28, 29, 30, they're just always going to trend downward every single year, whereas the younger players are usually just going to trend upward. So he likes to make those moves, and I know that a couple years ago he was really heavy on trading Travis Kelce for Mark Andrews plus, as a player to get an ascending asset in Mark Andrews for a descending asset in Travis Kelce, getting the plus to equal out that value at the time. But in the long run for him, that was going to be more beneficial. So this is something that, if there are people out there, and obviously there are because you're right here with me, that still value Travis Kelce over Kyle Pitts, making a move to move Travis Kelce for Kyle Pitts, you get 11 years younger. While in my opinion, you're not really losing all that much production. And you can still 11 years younger, Russ.
That's insane.
And then you can potentially get something on top of it. Like Hunter Renfrow, I think, like I said, is a quality wide receiver 3, just consistent piece. You can just plug in your lineup and count on 14 or 15 PPR points. And that's about it. So I like this move, and I like getting Kyle Pitts because he's my tight end 1.
Yeah, exactly. Fine trade. Good job, guys. Now, our next trade is 12-team Superflex, and this is Kyle, kind of like what you were saying before, Kyle Pitts for Mark Andrews and a first. So Kyle Pitts comes in at 470.5. Mark Andrews, a not very respectable 232.8, though I guess his ADP is 80. So, I mean, I guess that fits. And the 22 first comes in at 354.8. Total of 560 for Andrews in the first, for Pitts. Man, I do this so easily to go get Pitts. Not going to lie. Even on just okay, let's take a step back. I'm not really a Mark Andrews guy.
Neither am I.
I like the player. That situation never fit right. Like, if he was on, like, the Rams instead of Higbee, Mark Andrews would be gold. Like, if he was on a team that used the tight end, let's just say a tight end, as opposed to 4 of them, like the Ravens love to do, or even on a team that had a better pass volume. Like, there's so many things that just go into why the Ravens isn't a great landing spot for Mark Andrews. And it's just, there's so much efficiency needed for him to keep doing what he's doing. And that scares me. And that's really all it is. That is, again, I like the player. The situation is really not for me. In which case, yes, I'll add a first to go get Kyle Pitts, who, like I said, Kelce is my 1, but I 1000% understand the value is Kyle Pitts is the 1. And I'm fine with that. And even if I don't believe in Kyle Pitts, which I 1000% do, you can flip Pitts for something better or a different position than Mark Andrews, than another tight end. So I think that this is an amazing move. And the other way around, you're telling you would have to tell me that Mark Andrews is going to score 70 to 80% of Kyle Pitts, and I don't think he's going to do that unless you tell me that's like the 101, in which case then I would do it anyway, because it's a super flex 101 and you could do plenty of things with that. But to me, this is, I don't care that the calculator has it, the analyzer has it 90 points different, which is probably like a strong second-ish. I'll take Kyle Pitts pretty easy.
That was one of the biggest things that I found interesting about this, was that they valued the Mark Andrews side so much higher. Like you said, like a second
pick. The picks are pretty valuable in the analyzer right now.
Yeah, I guess so. And that's really what it is. Like Kyle Pitts in a second for Andrews in a first, to me, like that doesn't sound right. Like that's even more easily the Kyle Pitts side for me.
Yes. Oh,
like
yeah. Pitts and anything would be
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, I mean, I'm not a Mark Andrews guy. I know that there's Mark Andrews people out there, and he definitely looked like he was going to be an even more of a breakout at the beginning of the year, because he started to do it on target volume.
Yeah.
At the beginning, when he had that massive like Monday Night Football, like 40-point PPR performance, he had like 12 receptions or something.
I
But
remember
that was
that well. I
consistent.
lost many games because of that.
Yeah, that wasn't all that fun.
Because I have him on none.
But that was where it really got interesting, was he started to do it at the beginning of the year on target volume and receptions and not so much the touchdowns. But that was also without Rashad Bateman. And I'm a huge Rashad Bateman guy. I think Rashad Bateman comes in here. I think he becomes the alpha wide receiver one. I think that he makes Mark Andrews be not as necessary for Lamar Jackson to throw to, which has been his biggest benefit over the last couple of years on why he's been a top 5 tight end, was because Lamar didn't have anybody else to throw to. It was Mark Andrews and Hollywood Brown. And Hollywood's not an alpha wide receiver. He's a really good wide receiver too, I think. But that's just basically where it was. And like you said, then the efficiency in the red zone, scoring double-digit touchdowns in like 2 years, is crazy. So yeah, I did think it was weird that the analyzer valued it that much higher. And I would make this move for Mark Andrews and a first for Kyle Pitts. And I think I would do the same for George Kittle as well. I'd also probably do Kittle and a first for Pitts.
Don't you ruin my questions.
Would you do Waller? I don't know if I would do Waller in a first.
Honestly, right now, yeah. If it was beginning of the season, no. But I really am spooked about this lack of target share. And now the second and older, Waller's like 28, I think it is. And while tight ends play much later, the fact that he's quote unquote older and just got injured probably will hurt his value in the long run. So yeah, I would honestly probably do that. Because again, I think they will probably, I said, do I think Mark Andrews is going to get 80% of Kyle Pitts? Do you think Waller will? Probably.
Yeah.
So I think
his target share might also go up
per game. Yeah. So I think that would be more fair, but the funny thing is that makes it even more unfair in the analyzer.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think I would.
I think Kyle Pitts needs to get pushed up in the analyzer. I think that's what this comes down to. ADP of 40 seems a little low. Yeah, I guess it is even in Superflex.
Yeah,
even in Superflex, that seems like
to go through the roof.
1000%. What was I going to say? Yeah, because I was going to ask if you would do any besides Kelce, like going down the rest of the tight ends. Would you still do it? Honestly, anyone besides Kelce, I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, because I was gonna. Well, you get to the point like where you get to like T.J. Hawkinson, Noah Fant, and Dallas Goedert. Like adding them to a first is clearly not enough, in my opinion.
You might find the right person to do Hawkinson, because I know, me included, there's a lot of people who are very big fans of him. But lower than that, like the Gesicki's and the fans, no way. You need more. And even here, like the analyzer right now has Pitts worth like a first and a second, and you're not getting Pitts for a first and a second.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, we just started. Actually, hold on. I'm in one of the mocks. Let's hit Control F Pitts.
I thought you were gonna say I'm in a startup right now.
Oh no more. I'm in the DLF, one of the DLF November mocks, and Kyle Pitts in a 1 quarterback went at the 112. So let's push that down. 6-7 picks for quarterbacks? You're still in the second round. Heck, 12. You put in 12 quarterbacks, you're still the 212.
Yeah. Yeah. November ADP is going to push his value up in the analyzer a lot.
Oh, yes. And I put my name in for the Superflex mocks also. So maybe next week when we're recording, I'll be able to tell you what his draft position was. But let's move on. Oh, okay. All right. In a 10-team 1 quarterback league, Kyle Pitts end up first for Cooper Kupp. Okay, so this is ridiculous. I was talking about this on the Trade Addicts pod the other day, and both DLF families, so I can talk about the Trade Addicts pod on here. Cooper Kupp is beating the wide receiver 2 by 50 points.
Per game?
50 per game, absolutely. Yeah, of course. What else would I... Like, that's insane. Mm-hmm. But I still don't think I'm adding to Kyle Pitts to go get Cooper Kupp.
Not a first.
If it's if we're talking any sort of tight end premium, the answer is no whatsoever. If there is no tight end premium, which you didn't list on here, I'd maybe. I still don't think I had a first. Like, there would have to be such a specific situation. I would have to have like Kelce on my team also to do this.
I think this would be like not even Kelce. Like if I had Mike Gesicki on my team, who's like been killing it and is probably going to for the remainder of the year. And I drafted Kyle Pitts kind of out of luxury, or I really liked, like you said earlier, the value that he's going to gain and try to be able to sell him off. And then you see what Cooper Kupp is doing, and you need like that difference maker, like you said, like 50 points more than the wide receiver 2 right now, which is probably only going to get even a wider of a gap as the second half of the season keeps going. You would probably win championships if you made that move,
So if you're, and in 10 team, the less teams you get, the more the tight ends positional advantage matters. So
and the more the elite players matter as well.
Exactly. Okay, you've completely sold me. Yeah, I'd be okay doing this for Cooper Kupp, especially given 10 team, 1 quarterback, no premium. This is fine. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think I would do this for sure. But I like it on the other side. Like if you're rebuilding and you have Cooper Kupp, because again, I can't imagine rebuilding with Cooper Kupp, but
I mean, if you're rebuilding and you have Cooper Kupp on your team, you sell him now because his value does not stick. The dude's 28. He's been a wide receiver, not the wide receiver one before, but a wide receiver one before, and his value never goes up. So do it now while he's scoring points.
Well, I was thinking about this, like where does Cooper Kupp end at the end of the year, or like where does his value through like next spring? Stephon Diggs was consistently like wide receiver 8 to 9 in ADP, like through the entire offseason as a 28-year-old who just came off like a monstrous wide receiver season, and one that we like kind of came out of nowhere, for Diggs. And he still had the whole, like, he's paired with his quarterback and he's the alpha wide receiver 1. And so I think Cooper Kupp is probably down in that territory. So I think his value will be fine. But if you can get like the wide receiver 1 prices
during the season.
Yes, absolutely.
So in the mock I'm doing right now, again, this is just one draft, so you can't call it gospel or anything. Diggs is the wide receiver 11 and Cooper Kupp is the wide receiver 12. Just very convenient since you brought up that, comparison.
Kupp and still behind Diggs? I don't know.
Kupp at the 212. I mean, that's pushing to round 4 in a super flex league. In a 12-team super flex league, okay, Kyle Pitts, a 22 second, and Kenneth Gainwell, who just hurt my soul this week, for Christian McCaffrey and Austin Hooper. Kyle Pitts, this is 12-team Superflex. I forgot if I said that. Kyle Pitts, 470.5. The second, 113.5. Kenneth Gainwell, 42.4. After the adjustment, 596.9. Christian McCaffrey still holding a mighty 785.3. And Austin Hooper, 29.6. And just because we've talked about this mock so many times, I'm just going to keep bringing it up. Christian McCaffrey, 1, 2, 3, 4 was the running back 5 taken at the 108.
So still a quality first rounder.
But
Pitts is not that far behind him.
Dalvin, Harris, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, and then McCaffrey.
Wow, Alvin Cook went ahead of Christian McCaffrey.
I love getting Pitts and a second back if I'm trading McCaffrey away in a 12-team league.
That's essentially what this is, right? Like this is McCaffrey for Pitts in a second. You can just kind of cross out Gainwell and Hooper.
Yeah, 1,000%.
I mean, I'd rather have Gainwell than Hooper, but basically this is Christian McCaffrey.
I mean, it seems like for 20 minutes, the Eagles thought that way too. And then Miles Sanders get hurt and Boston Scott and Jordan Howard up in the house. I can't believe I just said the phrase up in the house. What is wrong with me? So yes, I'm never a pay up for a running back guy. So I have Christian McCaffrey on one team, and that's because I share it with other people and they made the decision and I just said yes. Like, cool. That hurts my feelings, but let's do it. So if you told me in a 12-team super flex league I was going to get Pitts in a second for Christian McCaffrey, I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Money.
Yeah. Let's think about it the other way around. Would you pay Pitts in a second for Christian McCaffrey? I think I would. I mean, let's be honest. Again, we're talking about non-tight ends premium, and you cross your fingers that McCaffrey is going to be able to come back. They said that there's a chance that he comes back this week, even that he doesn't re-aggravate it yet again. But if McCaffrey does come back and he is Christian McCaffrey, in 2 weeks, if he puts up 30 points in both those weeks, you'll feel great about sending Pitts in a second for Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, 100%. If you believe that Christian McCaffrey is still Christian McCaffrey, he's just kind of been dealing with a little bit of an injuries. then this is a massive buy low for Christian McCaffrey.
Yes, 1000%.
And then you can take that right into next year as well.
Okay, so here, I actually asked this question before when we were talking about Pitts' value and pick value. Oh, wow. So this is Kyle Pitts for 3 firsts.
3 firsts.
You kind of have to do this, I think. The analyzer, like we've said, 354.8 for a pick times 3, 995.4 after a 70-point package adjustment. And Pitts still sitting there at 470.5. Okay, Mr. Pitts at tight end 1. You going to trade Kyle Pitts for 3 firsts?
So this is a super flex 3 firsts.
Yes.
I don't think I would not do it. I would not trade Kyle Pitts for 3 1-quarterback firsts. That's just way too much.
If you can tell me somehow it's the 1, the 2, and the 3, I might. Otherwise, no. Because I think you're going to get 3 good running backs, or at least 2 running backs and a good wide receiver. So that if you could tell me with 1000% certainty it's the 1, 2, and 3, I might do it. After that, no.
Yeah. So at least with the super flex first, it makes it easier to at least get some. Maybe you get a quarterback and, like you said, 2 good running backs, or a quarterback, wide receiver, running back. Yeah,
like you're building part of a lineup with this draft.
If this is 110, 111, 112, I'm not that interested.
Nope.
If it's 102, 105, 109, a little bit more interested. I don't think I would trade Kyle Pitts for 3 firsts, though.
5, 6, and 7.
No.
Yeah, see, one of those firsts would need to be very close to the 1 to make it worthwhile. Because let's talk about what you do when you're rebuilding. You're rebuilding around players like Kyle Pitts. The only reason you do this when you're rebuilding is you really believe in this 22 class, which the top end might be. The running backs are pretty good. The quarterbacks are, but still, if your team is super bad and you have Kyle Pitts on your team and he's all you got and you need to trade Kyle Pitts away, don't gamble this much. Again, I always point this way because that's where I have the Google Doc, but people don't know that. So just in case you're listening, when I do this, it's because I'm pointing right at the Google Doc that I have on my screen. Not like this. You're going to want at least 1 or 2 players that we've seen in the NFL. We've seen them do something. Throw a Devonta Smith in there. I mean, throw Jamar Chase in there. Why not, right? Like, or at least, or like T. Higgins, someone not necessarily a rookie that we've seen do well. There's certain amounts and kinds of players I need coming back to me when I'm selling just fire value like Kyle Pitts. And just picks is not that. I can't do just picks. Again, unless this is postseason where we know what the picks are, and post NFL draft where we know what the players are going to be, and I'm all in on 1 or 2 of those players, maybe, but that we're getting really microscopic situationally, and also it's November, we don't know any of that information.
Yeah, like I was going to say, like there's so much risk on the 3 firsts. You might think that's a lot to pay for Kyle Pitts, but
and clearly value-wise it is.
Yeah, but if you think about it, just like you said, like if you actually use those firsts, not even talking about taking those firsts and then trading them away later on down the road, that might be your plan. You might be able to do that. But at that point, why not just trade Kyle Pitts? But if you actually are going to plan on using the firsts, you have a range of outcomes from, you could say best case scenario, this is the 2020 class. You were able to draft Jonathan Taylor, CeeDee Lamb, and Justin Jefferson. Like realistically, you could have done that with an early, mid, and late first in Superflex. You could have done that. Like that's best case scenario.
Wow. I just thought about that out loud. Wow.
Best case scenario, you could have done that.
Wow.
But
right, sorry, keep going.
On the flip side, worst case scenario,
Josh Doxson, Corey Coleman, and
this could be one of the if this really is like one of the worst draft classes we've had over the past like 6 or so years, even if it's not like the horrible 2016 class, but if it's like 2019, you could be drafting Josh Rosen. I know that's not really, is that 29? I don't think it was, but like
no, it's 18.
Yeah, but like, okay, you could do 2018 again. You could go Josh Rosen, Darius Geis, and some other wide receiver that I don't really remember from 2018. All
Wide
that
receivers
well.
up there were pretty good because it was like DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, Calvin Ridley.
Yeah. So yeah,
I liked
like
that year.
worst case scenario, you have 3 really bad players. Middle case scenario, you hit on one of them, but it's a hit that's not going to be as Kyle Pitts of a hit, you know? And then the other 2 are just kind of like meh. Like if it was 2019, you'd got like Miles Sanders and Terry McLaurin. Like that's pretty solid, but I don't think you'd be happy with Miles Sanders and Terry McLaurin for Kyle Pitts. Maybe you would. I don't know, but I wouldn't.
And the thing is, like, I love Terry McLaurin, and no, I mean, maybe David Montgomery, minus the injury, you feel a little better about it now. No, we're talking way too specifically with something that doesn't need to be talked about specifically. We're moving on. And by the way, yeah, go send 3 firsts for Kyle Pitts, especially if you're in a 1 quarterback league, because this is weird. Yeah, go get Kyle Pitts. That's fine. And it's weird for me to say that. So let's go. Okay. We're going to do horrible trades. I'm going to open my eyes on now. 12-team Superflex. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Jamar Chase, Justin Fields, and Kyle Pitts. That's just one side. That's one side of a trade. Jamar Chase, Justin Fields, and Kyle Pitts. That's for Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown, and Savon Ahmed. You lost me on that last one. This would have been a really good trade if that last one was just.
That's why I included it. I was literally
player.
All I envisioned when I saw this was that was the Big Bird gif of him going, one of these is not like the other.
Like, man, throw like Ryan Tannehill, throw Kirk Cousins in there, and this is a fine trade. Don't get me wrong, I'd want the youth just because Pitts and Chase are so darn good. And last game, Fields looked like what Fields can be, and it was pretty. But to get Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown, who's finally remembering he's AJ Brown, and a usable QB2, that would have been beautiful.
Except you included Savon Ahmed.
So close, whoever you are. And the thing is, let's talk values. Total value of the rookie side is 1684.6. Total value of the vet side, 1333.6. If we just took away the 7.9 and put in the 300 something points that Ryan Tannehill probably is, you have a completely even trade. Like, you were so close.
Yeah.
And then walked off the edge.
Even like, honestly, if it was even like Zach Moss, I would not be hitting.
You feel
this
a little
hard.
better about it. Someone that you could, like an RB2, you feel okay starting.
Yeah.
But this is literally just like, let's make it a 3 for 3. Who's your worst player that you're never going to put in your lineup? Oh, Savon Ahmed. Which sucks because he was like really good in small spaces. Like, what was that, 2 years ago at this point? Like,
yeah, late last
year or 2 years ago. I can't even remember. We're like, all right, but Miami just doesn't know what they're doing at running back anymore. But I can't believe you found a trade with Jamar Chase, Justin Fields, and Kyle Pitts getting traded away.
Yeah, that was even cooler too. Like a whole 2021 draft class.
Like, imagine this is your 3 first, and then you feel okay. I know Kyle Pitts is one of them, but that's man.
Yeah.
Oh man. Wow.
This is so funny to me.
Like, the only thing I could picture this is like this was a startup, and they got Chase, Fields, and Pitts in like the 7th, 8th, and 9th round. So they can afford to do this, even though it's still silly because Chase is crushing. I think he's wide receiver 2 right now. So trading him away seems a little silly, even if it is for Tyreek Hill, who we know what Tyreek Hill can do. Oh man, this. Oh, by the way, they are practically even on the analyzer as well, 646 to 664.
Yeah,
this was a lot more fun than some of your horrible trades. Some of your horrible trades just make me angry. This one was hilarious. I loved this, especially because it was the last player read.
Yeah,
Savon Ahmed, I know you watch, and I'm sorry, but you have to realize that, right? I mean,
he has to feel good about it. If he was watching it, he'd be like,
yeah, I'm part of this trade, baby. All right, everyone. Well, this has been, I'm going to say it. It's been another fantastic episode of the DLF Trade Show.
Absolutely.
Hope you enjoyed your Kyle Pitts episode. Hope you got everything you wanted out of it. If not, drop a comment below. And I've been told that I should start answering things. So I started answering things last week, which is so much fun. So I'm going to do it now more often. Whew, all right, I'm getting worked up about this. I love it. This was a good one. Russ Fisher at Dynasty Outhouse, Addison Hayes, Adam Hayes _ DLF Trade Show, DLF YouTube channel. Subscribe, hit that little bell so you get a notification whenever we go live. I feel silly saying that because, like, I know of that because my 8-year-old watches so much, YouTubers playing video games, and that's what they say. I'm old. Bye.